Hello and welcome to another episode of Historically Speaking. Here we discuss a great deal about historical events and reflect on events that have made an impact, especially in contemporary times. Today, I have with me a very special guest. Thank you, Joyeeta, for joining us. Joyeeta is a very senior journalist and the editor of the Sunday Guardian. She comes with her understanding of having observed the politicians and politics of the parliament over her long journalistic career. So today we're going to have a discussion about budget session of parliament, which is the budget session is crucial because it is the inaugural session of the third term of Modi government. And as we've discussed, Joyeeta, it is proving to be quite a tensed, impactful session of parliament in that sense. And especially for you, since you're and me, we are in the media space, every day is about some sparring over politician. So how is this budget session different from the others that you've seen probably in 2019?
You see, when we are talking about the budget session, this budget session is doubly important. Number one, because it's this new government's first budget session. And of course, budget session anyway is important because it is going to set the financial agenda of the government for the next 1 year.
Yeah.
So that is very important.
Yeah.
Now, what we are witnessing, and as you were talking about, the difference between 2019 and 2024 is, in 2029, the government had a landslide majority.
Yes.
So I would not say when it comes to the opposition was more subdued, perhaps.
Yes.
The opposition was more subdued, was more, but right now, what we are witnessing, a lot of aggression that is coming from the opposition, a lot of, I would say, it's almost like what they are already talking about. So Rahul Gandhi and the others, talking about you do not have the, legitimacy to be in government, which is absolute.
Absurd. It is absurd.
Which is absurd. You cannot talk about that. If Manmohan Singh could run a government with maybe 146 MPs and then 206, that was the highest number.
Yes.
For 10 years to say that a government with a 240
doesn't have the legitimacy. Laughable.
That's laughable, but that is what exactly. And I think the Congress, I guess, the problem with the Congress is that, the Congress got, I think, 44 seats in 2014 and 52 in 2019.
Yeah.
From there to have gained another 47 seats, I think they have lost their mind completely to have gone up to 99. I think they are... just as the way they are misinterpreting the verdict that has come against the government, they are also misinterpreting the verdict that has come against them. Come for them.
Yeah.
They are thinking of it as a mandate to, create ruckus in parliament, be nasty, be abusive. So that is becoming a problem. So as a result of which, once you bring in that aggression to the government, automatically the other side, the treasury benches will also start start talking things that they should not be talking about. Say, for example, the new judge who has come from West Bengal, Justice Abhijit Gangopadhyay, he used a very unparliamentary language against Gaurav Gogoi yesterday, and he was pulled up for that. So but the fact is, when you have all of them, and it is good to have young, voluble parliamentarians in parliament, but once they start behaving like trolls,
Yeah.
that is the problem. I think that is what we are witnessing among young parliamentarians, especially they are coming. As I said, it is going both ways because one side is doing this, the other side has to counter it because otherwise they get shouted down.
Yeah.
So you see the troll-like behavior, it's non-serious behavior. And that is a reflection, that is what is happening in the budget session also.
Also, Joyeeta, this is an important time to discuss different facets of the budget and discuss it, have a debate and discussion about it. There are some focus areas, there are some areas probably which are left out and that. But all this shouting matches or accusations are not really going to help the budget or any discussion of it. I think the time when we used to have discussions on parliament on bills and opposition last, I think this session prior to the election all it was saying was, we want discussion on bills. We want discussion on bills. Now, when there is an opportunity to have a discussion on the bills, I think that is not happening. I don't see a discussion on the budget. Everything else is being discussed except the budget.
Yeah, when you have got one of the most senior leaders of the opposition calling the finance minister Mataji, and when anyway the lady you are calling Mataji is actually younger than you. So the thing is, I mean, what sort of gravitas, what sort of discussion on budget can we expect in a situation like this? The whole point is, what are we witnessing till now? All that we are saying is that these people are saying, oh, the budget is about favoring one state or the budget is about favoring the other state. That is what the whole ruckus was about.
Yeah.
That was not serious discussion.
Yes.
The
public in general, which has been having expectations from the budget, because we are tackling with rising prices and other issues which have come along. I think even the mandate that the people have given to the opposition, even they expect that some serious discussion come out of the different aspects of the budget. Like education is requiring something, infrastructure, there are some areas which are ravaged by floods. I think those discussions are things that we are looking forward to, by making accusations that we've not done enough or this, that how are we helping. So I think the opposition's understanding of its mandate and what it is to do with that mandate is also, I think, somewhere lacking. What do you think?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Because you see, the problem, I think, primarily is because it has all become about optics.
Yeah.
When it comes to parliament, it is not about discussions anymore. Because we saw what happened when that short session that happened prior to the budget session that started. What did we see there? The Prime Minister was not even allowed to speak. For 1-2 hours, they kept on screaming and shouting for what?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people wanted to listen to him.
And they keep telling that he should speak, he should speak. But then when he's speaking, then you don't want to listen.
So
it's very funny.
And the thing is, and that is when the agenda, if you look at, say, for example, let's look at British Parliament. When Rishi Sunak was Prime Minister and that the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, I mean, the back and forth on reply, the back and forth of replies, it was actually mind-blowing. You could hear them. He's saying something, he's replying.
Yeah.
After that, you're here, and everybody is sitting quietly and maybe applauding and all. But here you are not even allowing him to speak. We are not even getting to hear what he said. So the whole point is that if the whole parliament is coming down to, a performance in front of the camera, then the whole, objective of having a parliament is lost.
Like, I found some parliamentarians saying, who stood up to talk, and the Prime Minister was leaving. Oh, you don't even want to listen to me, and I'm making. Okay, and you don't even want to listen to me, and this that. But they had a completely different reaction when the leader of opposition started leaving. Oh, he's already heard my speech, so but the Prime Minister should listen. And when the Treasury's benches started pointing out that, well, the leader of opposition is also leaving 5 minutes later, so he's also not going to listen to your speech. Well, he already knows about my speech. So what you say about optics is becoming more important than the substance or the depth. I think, Joyeeta, that's something one needs to really take cognizance of. I think I also want to, apart from the Congress, I also want to listen to other parties and what they have to say in Parliament. But somehow that's getting really dissolved in the whole thing. I think the scene is pretty much dominated by the Congress party, and I think the regional parties have much to think about where they stand. If Congress starts capturing the scene and the platform for themselves, then where do parties like the Samajwadi Party or Mamata Banerjee feature in popular and national imagination? Of course, they have national ambitions.
Interestingly, if we look at Congress's performance, and Akhilesh, the person who is coming for maximum praise in the opposition ranks is Akhilesh Yadav.
Yeah.
His behavior, his speeches, he is being noticed.
Yeah.
But then the Congress would not like that.
Yes.
That is why, when we say that the Congress in particular is misinterpreting the verdict, where has Congress and how has Congress got the seats, if you look back?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Are we supposed to believe that in UP, Rahul Gandhi won Raebareli, or his, candidate won in Amethi because of Rahul Gandhi, or was it because of Akhilesh Yadav? Was it Akhilesh Yadav's victory or Rahul Gandhi's victory in UP? That
Yes.
6 or 7 seats or what
Yes,
they got.
of course. Yeah.
So when you look at, say, states, there are so many other states where it is basically Rahul Gandhi. I mean, in states like, say, Gujarat, they have been wiped out for except for one seat. In Madhya Pradesh, they have been wiped out. In Odisha, they have been wiped out. So what are they I mean, how can they possibly look at this verdict and say, we have won, we are the victorious. People have given us the mandate to create ruckus in parliament and create pandemonium. And that is why, that the Congress is now trying to. All these days we heard that Rahul Gandhi does not want to be prime minister. And suddenly now that he is LOP, we are being told, oh, he is going to form a shadow cabinet. I'm hearing both stories, by the way.
Yeah.
That shadow cabinet, he will have all opposition members. Someone else came and told me, no. He will have only his own shadow cabinet. They cannot even decide on that.
But why is he having a shadow cabinet at all? If at all he is entertaining the thought of a shadow cabinet.
No, because I think they are now we are trying to pretend that since we are a parliamentary democracy, but we are not like exactly. It is not there in our constitution. So how can we possibly have a shadow cabinet?
Yes.
The shadow cabinet, the shadow prime minister over in the UK, they have constitutional status.
Yes.
LOP cannot become shadow prime minister.
Yes.
So you have to change. For that, they need a majority, a brute majority to be able to change the constitution.
Yes.
Okay, and give them. So I don't know from where this idea of having a shadow cabinet. And do you really see Rahul Gandhi deciding prime minister as prime minister himself? He will make Chidambaram finance minister, and he will give home to somebody, and Mamata Banerjee will accept. Mr. Stalin will accept. So it's easier said than done.
Joyeeta, whenever I still remember when we used to have Chidambaram as finance minister, some of his policies used to be really ridiculous. And is it our memory or something? Now, before that, whenever we've had prime minister, I remember Chidambaram in particular, his policies used to be up for massive criticism. And now, when you have a finance minister, obviously you have some people who are agreeing with her and some people who are disagreeing with her. And I saw also that people were trying to disrupt the speech which she was making on the budget, which you are technically not supposed to, because she has to make her point. She has to present her budget. So I find there's a difference also in when Mr. Chidambaram was prime minister and how people treated it and how opposition benches treated it. And here is a lady as the prime minister, as the finance minister, and how people are treating her and the budget, or people are almost going to the extent of being sexist by saying, oh, she doesn't understand, or she doesn't, she's not paid heed and attention to. They're all memes and trolling that is happening online. I think that is a little unfortunate in that sense.
Well, let's just put two performances in perspective.
Yeah.
When we look back at the UPA years and
Yes.
when the NDA came,
Yeah.
2014,
Yeah.
what was the legacy of the UPA in terms of hard currency and cash?
Yeah.
The banks were in the red.
Yeah.
Think of the NPA crisis.
Yes.
And I think it went on for about a couple of years. The banks would have gone, all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Look at from there, the banks have not only come up, they are in a situation where they are making profits.
Yeah.
SBI is one of the most profitable banks in the country.
Yeah.
All the government banks are making profits. So the very fact, that is one institution, banking is one institution you cannot allow to fail. And this gentleman, through his brilliant financing, what he did, he just pushed the country to the edge.
Yes.
And so that itself should, I think the problem that is happening with a lot of people, and this is a problem also, by the way, another problem that is with BJP, I would say, BJP is not very good nowadays at when it comes to social media. So the kind of memes, the kind of stuff, they keep forgetting. They do not remind the people that, listen, the people who are talking about, the political leaders who are talking about such big things, that the budget should be like this and budget should be like that, what the budget was like at that time.
Yes.
I think they are now inducting younger spokespeople who will be more, I would say, brash on TV. You have to be brash on TV. You have to be loud on TV. Okay. And I think they just need to better their, let's put it this way, trolling quality.
Yeah. Okay. if I may say so. What do you expect? It's a final question, Joyeeta. What do you expect from this rest of the session of the Parliament? Because we are left with quite a bit.
Yes.
Yes. So, are we going to really see some sort of discussion on the budget? And do you think, in your understanding, that there should be some serious discussion on facets of the budget, or are we going to just see shouting matches and the end of the session?
Let's put it this way: the Supreme Court order on Kamar Yatra
Yeah.
saved the Parliament session to a large extent.
Yeah.
Because that is one issue.
Yeah.
The opposition would have picked up, and they would have, I mean, not let House to function for the rest of the tenure, this particular budget session.
Yeah.
So you see, so in a way, it's I would say the Supreme Court's decision has really preempted that.
Yes.
So now they can concentrate on issues, but the problem is, you see, let us see now what happens with the farmers.
Yeah.
I mean, while I am going to, stick out my neck and say that there are enough people in Parliament who are willing to speak sense and who are already speaking a lot of sense, a lot of substance.
Yeah.
But there is also, and the thing is that they're not even fringe. When the direction to disrupt comes from the top,
Yes. Yes.
that becomes a problem. And that is what is happening in the Parliament currently. So you see, it all depends on how much disruption this particular section, how much they are willing to go for this. But let us hope that there will be good sense. Next time the Prime Minister speaks, let us hope there will not be such unruly hooliganism kind of behavior, because that is what we are showcasing to the world. We call ourselves the largest democracy, and then we behave like hooligans and we ask people to storm the well of the House. Sorry, it looks very bad. So all we can say is that let's hope for the best.
All right. Thank you, Joyeeta, for joining us on this episode of Historically Speaking. And thank you for taking our time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you.